The big game is fast approaching, but wait, you still haven't got your tickets. You've spent hours searching, but you're still confused about ticket prices. Time to stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
Usual kick off the broadcast, then we'll go into the newspapers.
Morning, Arsene. Can we start by getting your latest team news update?
Well, basically, compared to before Chelsea, nothing has changed. The Kolasinac, Koscielny, Monreal, Giroud, Ramsey, they're still all out. And from Wednesday night, I believe we will lose, certainly we lose Granit Xhaka, who finished with a tight groin. Everybody else should be available.
Because it's quite a quick turnaround again, isn't it? So how much can we expect to see you rotate your side?
I will rotate a little bit because we have as well, we come out of a very high-loaded period because we played three big games in 6 days, twice away, a big game at home, and we have to keep our level of focus and of urgency, because the third round is always very difficult, especially when you play away from home against a championship team. And we play on Wednesday again, so I have to rotate a little bit.
Of course, this is us beginning our defence of the FA Cup.
Mm-hmm.
From a personal point of view for you, how exciting is this opening weekend? Because of course it's a chance to test yourself against teams.
From my personal experience in the FA Cup, and I think I have a big one, this is maybe the most difficult round many times, because it's always difficult to start well in a competition, and when you play away against a championship team, today it's always very intense games, and the championship teams are ready to face. For them it's a big challenge, and you have to maintain, coming out of a very loaded and congested period over Christmas, you have to maintain your concentration, and that's never easy.
Arsene, you've been asked by the FA to explain comments you made pre and post-match Chelsea. Have you responded to the FA, and what have you said in response?
Look, I believe that first of all, yes, I've been asked, and I maintain what I said in the press conference 100%, and I'm nothing to change in that. And overall, basically nothing has changed. I'm in England for 21 years. I try to serve this game with honesty, integrity, and when I have something to say, I say it. And on that front, nothing will change, never.
And does that include post-match as well? Because you've had a couple of days to reflect. You said that the penalty decision was farcical. You've had a chance to have a look at it. Do you stand by that as well?
100%.
A lot of people looked at it and suggested that they believe it.
Look, I respect everybody's opinion. I think it was a yellow card for Hazard. You feel he 100%.
Because in the same game...
But I have a right to have my opinion, and I respect everybody's opinion.
Because in the same game there are accusations that Jack Wilshere dived as well.
Yes, maybe he did, but that doesn't... why should that change my opinion on the penalty? Nothing to do. Every situation is different. That has been to be assessed by the referee, and after that you have your opinion, I have my opinion. I'm long enough to know it, long enough in the game to know that everybody can have a different opinion.
So just on that, you stick by what you said pre-match, because you said there was a concerning coincidences in the penalties that have been awarded against Arsenal. You still believe that it's more than just a coincidence?
I have nothing to add to that. I maintain what I said. You know, we can talk and talk. At the end of the day, we spend always time on talking about things that are not really important in the game. What we want is to see big football games. We have big players on the football pitch, and you want them to be refereed by top quality people, and I think I contributed a lot to give the referees a great opportunity to be at their best, because I had a huge influence on the fact that they became professional or not. And I believe I had more influence on that, and the positive one, and that's why I can be as well demanding, you know, and that's what I want from them, is to be at the top, and I'm quite surprised that that is shocking, you know.
If I can ask you, you told us on Wednesday that you would 100% continue to contest the charge regarding the West Brom game, the comments made then. Is that still the case? Because there are some suggestions that maybe you'd let it go, perhaps take a touchline ban and be back for the Chelsea game. Can you just clarify what that situation is?
I don't know. You know, at the moment I'm I'm focused on football, and at the moment always fuss. You imagine that I'm 21 years in the game, and what I've seen and heard in the corridors from people, you might can be quite understand that I'm surprised and shocked by having been charged.
So you still contest the charge?
I just told you my answer. You know, it's no need to talk about that much more.
Similar issue, that VAR is going to be used in the FA Cup. It's going to be used in your match against Chelsea. Do you think that could have helped the situation on Wednesday? Do you welcome its introduction and its use in the FA Cup and in the League Cup?
I fight for the video for over 10 years. So I can only be positive. It can create jobs as well for former referees who can continue their work and have their influence.
Can I ask you about your new signing, Mavropanos?
Yes.
Is he with you now, or what's the plan?
He's with us, yes. The plan is that he goes out on loan to play somewhere.
When he goes out on loan, will that be an English club? Will he go back abroad? Will he play? Have you any ideas?
It can be a German club.
You prefer him to play in Germany?
I prefer him to play where it doesn't really matter, but he plays in the top at the top level and gains experience. He's 20 years old, and so he needs for a defender, central defender, is not ready to start for us. So it's important he gains experience.
Just in terms of, obviously, transfer windows, there's been a lot of talk. There have been suggestions that you're showing an interest in Aubameyang as a possibility. Can you just...
No, it's not a possibility.
Okay, Bob, thank you.
Arsene, on the subject of VAR, it is there to correct obvious mistakes. Do you feel that it will be successful in that, or that it will just actually stir up more debate and more conversations like we've been having this morning?
Well, I believe it's like every new technology. I can be very positive. I'm always in favor of moving forward, and therefore, even if it creates problems, I think it can sort out many mistakes that have been made before, and that we not, for example, the most obvious ones, when you see Swansea against Tottenham, the offside goal would have been detected, you know. So it can get many mistakes out of a game, especially the offsides. After, it depends how we use it. If it is to keep completely control for the central referee and run out of a pitch and look at the television while the whole stadium sits there and freezes, I think we have. It's better we stay in the old system. So we can get better. We can make it as well worse.
Right. So you have got some concerns about what it might do to the speed and flow of the game.
If it is applied like that, certainly.
Vincent Kompany this morning, he's completed a Masters in Business Administration, and he has suggested that ticket prices should be cut, that stadia should be full, because full stadia helps sell TV rights. That's where football gets most of its money from. Do you agree with him?
I believe that the stadium should be full, yes, but they are. When you look at the Premier League last year, I think it was 94% capacity So I believe we cannot put more people in the stands that they can take. So on that front, there is no problem. After that, should the ticket prices have to be adjusted to the demands? You know, we live in an economy where people make their decisions, and you have to respect that, and that the clubs adjust the price to the demand. Ideally, you want it always to be as less expensive as possible, but Vincent Kompany is a football player who are very well paid, and to pay the players very well, you have as well to get some money. And part of still today, since I'm in England, the gates in our club has always been about 30 to 35% of the turnover of the club. So that means 1/3 of the salary of the player is paid by the income, by the gates.
Okay.
Arsene, the fixture list slightly changes each season, and the demands and the regularity of the matches over the Christmas period will affect teams differently. And you've got FA Cup and then you've got League Cup as well coming. How have you found the rhythm in terms of being disrupted for Arsenal this season?
I think I accept completely that when you're involved in many competitions, that the rhythm can be at a very high level. I believe the fixture list this season has been completely unfair. Especially the Christmas period, and the recovery days for some clubs have not been the same. They play against each other, and one team had 6 days to prepare and one team 2 days, and you cannot defend. That's not defendable. When you have played at the top level and you know what's going on, I'm not against the fact that we play many games. I'm ready to play every 2 days. I repeated that many times. As long as the guy I play against has played 2 days before. And that we have to make a huge effort in the Premier League to get that much better respected.
I mean, is it inevitable then that sort of generally the FA Cup's going to suffer a little bit this weekend, that the Premier League seems going to have to rotate afterwards?
A little bit, yes. But suffer doesn't mean no. We look at the bench everywhere. In the Premier League, everybody is top-level international players on the bench, so I wouldn't think that the FA Cup should suffer from that. I don't feel that if I rotate a little bit that I'm a less stronger team.
When you look back at last season, and particularly the way you won it, beating City in the semis and Chelsea in the final, how influential was that in your decision to stay here?
I don't know.
I mean, but it must. I mean, winning that trophy put a positive end to this.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult. The FA Cup, contrary to what many people think, the FA Cup becomes more and more important, and in every single country. And that why? Because it's more and more. It's difficult to win this kind of trophies. You have so many teams who want always to win a trophy. You know that it becomes more and more difficult, and. I think we won it in style at the period where we were questioned, and had it an influence or not, I don't know. I don't know how I would have responded.
Do you think you would have stayed if you'd not won it?
I don't know.
Just one on the FA charge. I know you've talked about it. Do you expect it to be dealt with in time before Sunday?
As well, I don't know. I focus on football. Honestly, that's last of my worry. I don't. I know what I do. I know what I say, and apart from that, when I come out of a press conference, my only worry is football.
Have you requested a personal hearing from the FA?
No.
Okay, lastly, Nick.
Arsene, sorry, apologies if you've spoken about this before, but what's the situation with Theo Walcott? Do you think he'll be staying this January?
I want him to stay.
He's been linked with Southampton, going back to Southampton.
I heard that, yes, I heard about that, but personally I want him to stay.
Okay, and finally at the back there, thank you.
Arsene, George Weah is now president.
That's a happy subject. Finally we got one.
He has spoken a lot about how he has influenced him as a person, actually pitting you to Nelson Mandela in terms of the influence. What sort of a leader do you think he will become? And he will be sworn into office on 20 January. Has you received your invitation and will you?
I answer your last question. Yes, I have been invited by George to come to the day where he will be president. But apart from that, that's of course not so important. What is important is when you look at his life, and I think the life of this guy is a real film, and it is unbelievable. Can make a fantastic film, because I all my life I remember when I saw him the first time in Monaco, coming a bit lost, not knowing anybody, not being rated by anybody as a player, and becoming after, in '95, the best player in the world, and today become president of his country. It's an unbelievable story. But it's down to the fact that one thing that was common in George's attitude, strong mentally, absolutely unbelievably, convinced that he has a mission. And the second thing, that was always, because I went with George through the period where it was war in Liberia, and I've seen how much he suffered for his country, and that's the second thing that was always continuous in his life, the love for his country and for his people, and the care he had for other people. And so I didn't think during that period that he will become president of his country. But today, when I look back, I must say I'm seeing him crying when war was on in Liberia. So it's a happy story, and I wish that he has, of course, a happy presidency. And I would like to say this guy is an example for everybody who plays football today, for all the players.
Will you be going?
I don't think so, because I believe I will be busy. Maybe if I'm suspended, I will have time to go.
Okay, guys, come to the newspaper yet.